பார் முழுசா
clips,
கியா மாறி இருக்கிறவன்
episode,
பார்.
Yeah, I think this comes from a point of the organizers thing
Yeah,
also. I think a lot of
definitely.
these things fall on them. But I think from an audience and an artist point of view, having to know what, like having to keep these principles also with you along with your like touring practices when you're like going around and playing in different festivals or even attending different festivals, to be mindful of the fact that, you know, the organizers having, you know, have something like this in backup. Something that you said, Fajay, was what was that about special effects? Under normal circumstances, they use CO2 blasts for
Correct.
like any
Yeah.
explosion or something like that. I
Correct.
think what I read was there are ways to do it with hydrogen, which is more sustainable. The same special effects things.
and even they use. I mean, this again for the Coldplay concert. They use reusable LED bands.
Bands.
Yeah.
All those
That
that
is-
so that you don't use it once and just throw them out. All these.
I don't know how feasible it is from a
Also-
financial point of view for an organizer to keep all of these things in mind and to like keep the entire festival sustainable
Yeah.
and pretty
But I
environmentally
think
clean.
that'll work even on the pocket of an artist.
Yeah.
If
For
they
sure,
follow
yeah.
sustainable practices, it even cut costs on like heavy usage of, you know, high energy tools.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There are some festivals who have actually like implemented some of these things before. I think one of the festivals I just got, Echoes of the Earth.
Echoes of Earth. Yeah.
Echoes of Earth. That one.
Yeah.
They-
Correct.
They also implemented some of the things that we're speaking of right now.
Yes.
So when
So
I
we
was,
see some differences from the
Yeah.
organizing standpoint. I don't know how much of impact the audience and the artist side are going to bring into this.
Did anyone try and collect how much of waste is got from a music festival?
I don't know.
You? Did you try and get the number? I have a number here.
It is
What
a
it is?
huge number. I'm not very sure.
It is 100,000 kilograms of solid waste.
Exactly.
Not in liquid waste. Okay, 100,000 kilograms
And
of solid
they're not
waste in a day.
recyclable, right?
No, not recyclable.
Exactly.
Ah.
You know, when y'all spoke about, when I mentioned about fans, how they like be able to inculcate from an artist when they're doing something, they also start following them because they obviously see them as idols and all of that. So, something to do with merch, the whole merchandise,
Yeah, for sure.
right? So, don't you think they can also like look into eco-friendly ways for merchandise, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
Or
Interesting.
like organic, plant-based
yeah.
related merch. So there was this, I think I went for a fest recently at Joseph's for like judging. So they gave me this pen, okay? That pen was made out of like just the ink thing. With that entire pen is recyclable, okay? There is nothing of plastic as such except for the nib,
Oh, okay.
the steel nib.
Okay.
So, and in the end of that pen, it had seeds, radish plant seeds.
So you can just plant it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you use it.
Yeah.
It's
after
the
you
same like
use it.
for what Cyrus got that thing from EY, right?
Oh,
The
the
card.
Yeah.
So,
He got
yeah.
his card from EY.
Nowadays,
it has
even-
Inside seeds.
My cousin who got married last year, last year, her marriage invitation, you can literally plant that invitation. The entire invitation card is made of seeds.
Oh.
It has seeds.
That's actually a smart thing because if you want to throw away the piece
Yeah.
of paper,
You can
it'll
just
grow somewhere.
put
You
it
just-
in
you
manure
just
and
start
it'll grow.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. When
Yeah.
people make merch, they can start working on eco-friendly ways where, you know, and again, these things are all sold at festivals.
Yeah.
So you have a huge crowd of people who would want to take a souvenir from that day. And if they implement and actually think about buying merches, they can follow these sustainable practices and it works way cheaper. It works way cheaper for
Yep.
even artists.
And also, I was thinking about when you're studying your first point, or instead of staying in hotels, or a group get a son, I would simplify it much more smaller into
Share accommodation.
no.
Okay.
If you're going for a music festival, anyway, you're going for a festival. Why not try and camp? Why not?
Exactly.
Again, that comes under the festival organization. But if you see Tomorrowland and all, they give that space.
Oh,
Okay, come,
camping
okay,
will be
yeah.
lovely
Yeah.
way of like
Yeah, you just come camp, sit out, enjoy nature
exactly.
at its best, and enjoy
That's
the festival.
something which is very important that he mentioned about the accommodation side.
Yeah. It
Accommodation.
can actually reduce a lot. You don't need to spend for hotels. Interns hotels don't need to spend a lot on.
Okay,
Yeah.
but then that raises sanitary this side of
Aspect.
things. Yeah.
Exactly. Obviously, music festivals will have to look at sanitary reasons as well.
The organizers need to focus on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that if that one aspect is screwed up, then there's going to be a lot of infections, a lot of
You know,
unhealthy things going about.
through the camping idea, people will be able to network with other people over there.
Exactly. Build communication.
It's
yeah.
going to be more fun actually
Yeah.
than just going to your room and sitting over there.
Yep. And just being within your group.
Yeah.
You just
You
get
can-
to expand.
All of the socially anxious people, very sorry.
Yeah. So that
Very sorry for y'all.
so that was something that's exactly what I actually address
Mhm.
about the accommodation side. Something about food and beverages. Don't you think about reusable water bottles?
Yeah. I
For
read,
sure,
I
yeah.
read this blog on one of the websites, okay, where this woman, when she checked for, I think it was a Jonas Brothers concert.
Mm-hmm.
So when she checked on the website when they're selling tickets, and I think they told you could bring your you could bring your water bottles, and then you can reuse it how many times you want.
Yeah.
But once she went to the venue, the security grabbed the water bottle. She's like, no, it's not allowed. And she had to fight to get a water bottle back, but she couldn't take it inside into the sun, into the concert. So getting to use reusable water bottles will solve a huge issue.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
even for the artists who are coming, they should be able to bring their own water bottles.
Artists, anyways, I think it'll be provided by
But the thing
venue.
is, I've seen that they just keep a what do you say? An entire plastic cover of filled with water bottles for them to just keep drinking when
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
thirsty. This has happened to me also when I'm performing.
Mhm.
Okay, they just keep a tray of so many
Yeah.
water bottles. As you finish, you just keep
Grabbing
drink.
one. Yeah.
Instead of that, carry your own water bottles.
Yep.
And the thing is,
But then again, how as if you're an artist,
yeah.
you can't have a reusable
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
bottle, right? Huh.
I don't want to take college names because we are Bangaloreans, you know. And but some colleges make us drop all the water.
I know which college you're talking.
Okay, we drop all the water, and then we enter. Okay, right? And that is one way for them to help the stalls, whoever's keeping water in their stalls.
They have a security purpose for it
yeah.
as to why they're emptying the
Yeah,
bottles.
Has to be
yeah.
part of the
But-
security. But
It kind of works out on the business end.
Yeah.
But again,
I'm
if you look,
saying-
if you start looking at all of these from a festival point,
It makes sense.
the amount
They're
of
doing that to get
organization they
profits.
have to do,
Makes sense for the amount
and
of
how do
workload.
they? Okay, now if you're going to, if we are going to talk about using reusable water bottles, okay, there are obviously going to be stalls that sell just liquids.
Mm.
Okay, they obviously, for them to set up a stall, they in turn have to pay a rent.
Yeah.
Okay, in the stall.
At the end of the day, the
Yeah.
consumer is the one who's
Exactly. No, if we are going to end up,
You know
using
what has happened now, Joshua, when you spoke about these water bottles? Now, in fests, okay, the same college. Obviously, now they're giving
Right,
glass bottles. Now
Glass
they give glass
bottles.
bottles. So now the charge is more for water.
Exactly. So that's why I'm asking. Now, if you get your reusable bottles, okay, getting reusable bottles, they're going to keep like, let's say those cans you get, right? They're going to keep those cans in a few places. You can refill your bottles and all that stuff. In turn, stalls can't sell. Okay, but they have to pay a higher rent on the other side.
Correct.
How do they?
So
manage?
now the only way they're going to get their money back for buying so much of
put a
glass
charge on
bottles
the
instead of thing.
product.
Yeah, they're
They're going to
increasing.
increase them.
Water,
Yeah.
which is a free source, we are already paying like $10. Now that has become $100, obviously because of the fancy way they're
Yeah,
putting
For
water
a small
in.
water bottle.
Yeah, if you go for music festival,
Exactly.
it is crazy.
So they're like,
Yeah.
no, they're not allowing us to use, plastic.
You go
So
to
we have
airport,
shifted to
gone.
glass. So now deal with this. So that's another aspect that people are going to face.
Yeah.
Right?
So we talked about food.
We spoke.
We talked about stay.
Yeah. We spoke
talked about-
about the carbon.
Yeah, the carbon emitting and all that.
From an artist point of view, you know what you have to stand for now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now boiling down to the indie artist point of view.
Uh-huh.
Okay. See, I'll say one advantage.
Mm.
Okay. That indie artists have over artists is indie artists are very I'm not trying to come at this in a very bad sense,
Right.
but they are very accessible to a small group and a large group at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. So when each indie artist makes a change
Mm-hmm.
in how they want their, even if it's a small 10 to 15 people show, can we implement one small thing like this, which is
For
eco-friendly?
Sure, yeah.
Right.
If small artists like these, okay, and all, I mean, I'm not trying to come about this in a way that indie artists are small,
Makes
but
sense. Yeah, I know what you're trying
when
to say.
each artist tries and takes up this responsibility, obviously it's going to result in the higher
For-
people changing.
Definitely.
For
Yeah.
sure, because it kind of sets a stage where
Yeah.
you're representing as an artist, as an indie artist more specifically,
Mhm.
from the very get-go, you're like initiating a level of sustainability in your performances,
Mhm.
your
Correct.
environment. So it's like you're caring about your audiences.
Mhm.
So the audiences feel cared for when they come to watch also. Because the last thing you want is after going to a very to an indie artist's concert,
Yeah.
and then not feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.